Have I ever talked about Daedalic? Day? I would call it Daedalic Entertainment. Um, they are a video game developer and publisher from Hamburg in Germany, and they have quite a lot of games on Steam, and I played a lot of them, or played quite some of them. I have a lot of their games in my library yet to play. Um, they're probably most well known for the Deponia series, um, and in general point of click games. And I can't remember being ever disappointed in some of their games. And today I finished another one called A New Beginning. A New Beginning is a beautiful hand-drawn point-and-click adventure game. It's a bit roughly animated, but because hand-drawn, there will be a lot of animations. It's well performed from the voice actors and actresses, and it's presented with comic book panels for all the cutscenes and some of the action sequences. The game starts in the future, where a big solar flare threatens to wipe out the last few remaining human survivors, and in a last desperate attempt, a group is sent back in time to warn about the upcoming disaster. Faye, the radio operator of the group, meets up with Bent, a scientist that holds the key to humanity's survival. A New Beginning has this great mechanic that I see, like I described to next generation point and click games, where you can press spacebar and see all interactable objects, and that gets rid of pixel hunting. Some might not like it because, like, oh, you have to explore the environment, but I mean, if you don't like it, you can not use it. I think it does. It's more. Yeah, I think it's better. I think it does more good than harm. Like, what kind of challenge even is pixel hunting? Like, remember the nails in Curse of Monkey Island? Nah. So I'm happy that it has this. It does not really have a hint system, which are mostly just very new point-and-click games that have that. Or at least it doesn't really have a hint system that I could tell of, and I missed that in this game. Usually, you talk or you look at to get clues, but I didn't really get much of those clues here in this game, if there ever was any. I don't think it's possible to stumble over a solution either, as in other point-and-click games. So if you're stuck, like, you can't just combine everything in your inventory with everything on the screen, and there are multiple screens a lot of the times. There are just some things that the game just wants you to do in that order, and that sometimes actually requires, like, leaving the room or the screen that you are on. I was hoping we can avoid that. I don't think that's good design. There are more isolated minigames. The kind of like more, isolated things that needs to be solved, like a panel or something. Trying to not spoil anything here, as per usual. And from the beginning, those mini games give you a skip button. And while skip buttons are great for frustration avoidance, a few hints would have done the game good. When you skip these puzzles, you often miss out on a Steam achievement, so take that as encouragement to keep trying to solve the puzzle. There are even some dialogue between the characters talking about how stupid the design of the first of these mini game puzzles are. Like, you don't get points for pointing out that one of your own puzzles are bad. That's just not how it works. Most of the puzzles in A New Beginning are also relative straight up problem solving, pretty straightforward, and not really creative in a way. So logic can be applied. Unlike, say, the Monkey Island series, in A New Beginning, when you come across a locked door, start to look for a key. Near the end of the game, where the story is ramping up, the puzzle takes somewhat of a backseat, and they become a lot more simple. There's a lot fewer ingredients, if you will, a lot fewer items in your inventory, and a lot fewer things in the environment that you can interact with. And I thought that was okay, because, as the story takes center stage, I want to move on with the story. The game crashed when finishing the first cutscene, but the solution to this was to skip it with the escape key when the end was near. At some point, part of the UI switched to, I'm pretty sure it was Russian. It wasn't any letter that I would say some letters I don't recognize, but I kind of recognize the Russian alphabet unless there's one that's close to it. And the last mistake that I had with the game, besides the crash and the occasional Russian UI, was that a few lines of dialogue would be repeated. Other than that, the game ran fine. Notice the game is in, what would you say, 4:3 format, and it can't be changed to 16:9, as a lot of it is hand drawn, and I had no problem with that. I'll mention it. If you like point and click games, then here's another one for you. It's easy to recommend. It has all the things that I'm looking for in the point and click games, with no failure states, no dead ends, can't get yourself stuck, and a bit more focus on narrative than let's say action, reaction, and precision. And the game even had some handful of great moments where I was like, whoa, this was good storytelling. This was nicely built up, paid off, cinematically delivered. It's a bit of a mature story. There's not a lot of humor, but I was entertained. At some point in the game, I gave up a little and used guide, as I wanted to proceed with the story, and also I could see no point in what I was doing. I found that sometimes the game would just leave me without really saying, oh, this is what you need to do, or this is what's stopping you from doing it. And if you keep that, if you need to look up guides to keep the game from turning from fun to frustrating, then there's plenty of guides available. They are in abundance on the internet, and no judgment from my side. Play to have fun, and when you spend 20 minutes on your Friday and Saturday night where you're planning to have a good night in with a game because you're one of the cool kids like I am, it just sucks if you're stuck somewhere. So I won't tell if you won't. Other than that, I didn't use it that much anyways. In general, this game is easy to recommend if you are looking for a point and click game, a little bit more mature, some nice, bit slow paced. The game's not even that long. I played it for 16 hours, but I think I left it running while I took a nap at some point, so that might be misleading somewhat, but that's what you're in for, a good few nights of storytelling, if you can do without shooting things in the face for too long. I think I rambled on long enough about A New Beginning. Hopefully you found it useful, my little game recommendation. Thank you for stopping by today.